It's an exciting day for me today because not only am I going from Den Haag into Rotterdam on the train, as you can see behind me, the sky is blue. So I have a walking tour of Rotterdam set up for 1:30 this afternoon. I'm heading in a bit early, it's about 8 o'clock in the morning now. So I'm going down to the central station to get some tickets. I just bought my ticket from Den Haag Central to Rotterdam, and I can leave anytime after 9, and I can come back whenever I want up until 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. I don't think I'll be staying out that late, but it's good to know I have options. I'll be headed to Rotterdam as soon as I get my coffee. So I have my coffee, which is by far the most important meal of the day, a triple shot cafe latte from Starbucks. Right now we're going to go find a restroom because I decided not to go out and walk around Rotterdam without doing that first. That's another thing here that's not cheap. You'll have to pay every time you go to the restroom. At a train station it's usually about 70 cents. Plus they give you a ticket when you pay that's good for 50 cents or something like that off of one of the shops in the station. So it's not totally a loss. You can still use your coupon to buy something at the station. So little tip. The sun is out and I made it to Rotterdam. It's about probably 22 minutes, 23 minutes from Den Haag, and it is an absolutely beautiful day out, so we're gonna have some fun. I've got a little while before my tour starts, probably 3 or 4 hours, so I am going to look for something to eat and have a little bit of breakfast. Rotterdam, by the way, is one of the newly built cities in the Netherlands. It was kind of destroyed during World War II, and instead of building it back the way it was, they decided to go modern. So Rotterdam is one of the only places in the Netherlands where you'll find true skyscrapers because they basically started from scratch. It's also a huge, huge port city, the biggest one in Europe. So there's probably a lot of money here. Anyway, we're gonna go take a look around. One thing I would highly recommend that you do or do not do before you come to the Netherlands is look at the weather forecast. When I was first coming here, I checked the weather forecast to see what it was going to be like during my stay, and it actually said it was going to be raining every single day. And as you know, it hasn't been. So I've had basically one day in Den Haag where it wasn't that nice, but every other day it's been sunny and warm relative to what it should be this time of year. I've told people that I've been looking at the weather forecast and they kind of just laughed at me. It's kind of like in England, you just don't trust the forecast. It's going to change really quickly. It was supposed to rain today, and as you can see behind me, nothing but blue skies all day long. Sure what this is behind me, but it is one of the coolest sculptures that I've seen in the Netherlands. There are bike lanes, there are car lanes, and there are tram lanes, and sometimes all three of them intersect. So you just really have to be careful. It's not as simple as it is in America and Canada, where you just wait for the light to go, or walk on a sidewalk where nobody should be driving anyway. It's a lot different here, so just be aware of that, and don't annoy the locals. Was, I guess, incorporated or became a city or first settled, I think it's either 1270 or 1370. I'm pretty sure it's 1270. And it has grown since that time to become the largest port in Europe. And it's not hard to see how water is a big part of the culture of this city. It's a big part of the culture of the entire Netherlands, but it's especially easy to see how it is here. All these ships in the background just docked there. I would imagine a lot of them are being used for tourism now, taking people out on the canals and out into the sea for things like cruises and things like that. So it's actually pretty cool to see, and I just still can't believe what a beautiful day it is here. Behind me is a massive market. It is probably one of the most famous landmarks in Rotterdam, and every one of these places on the outside is someone's apartment. On the inside, where all the market stuff is happening, people have a view into the market from their balconies, which is really, really cool. To try stroopwafels while I'm here, so I am at a stroopwafel place and I'm going to try them now. Alright, the lady with the white umbrella is right behind me. That means it's about time to start our tour of Rotterdam. It's a free walking tour.
In the most sunniest city of the world. My name is Sarit. I'm your guide for today. So the next 2 hours you have to keep up with me.
Just showed us on the tour. This is what Rotterdam looked like before the bombing, and as you can see, it's changed a lot. Instead of all that old stuff, it's all new now. And she also just warned us about crossing the street and not ignoring the bicycles, because they will run you down. The City Hall was one of the few places in Rotterdam that actually survived the Nazi bombing. And one of the reasons for that was because the Nazis wanted to use the building. And number two, there was also a lot of documents related to Jewish people in there. And if you'll notice behind me, there are some places like right there and a couple other places where there are still holes in the building, and that's not from German bombing actually. That's from when the Canadians came in and liberated it. The Germans were working in there and the Canadians kept firing on this building. So they didn't want to repair those holes because it was a symbol of the liberation of the Netherlands, so they left them just the way they were, which is actually kind of cool. And right now we're actually going to go inside the City Hall because apparently it's quite beautiful. I'm not sure what Santa is holding in his right hand. What do you say that they call it, jokingly?
Gnome butt plug.
Gnome butt plug.
Yeah, gnome butt plug. Kabouter butt plug in Dutch.
The actual thing he's holding is a Christmas tree. Okay. It's a statue by Paul McCarthy that was done in 1945. It's just called Santa Claus, but they jokingly refer to it as Elfin Butt Plug. We have stopped at a restaurant. We're halfway through our tour and we are going to try something called bitterballen. I've never heard of it before. I know there's meat in it, so they're getting me a vegetarian one. But apparently this place has the best bitterballen in the city, so that's why she brought us here. We're going to take a 10 or 15 minute break, and then we're going to get back on the tour. Bitterballen.
They actually won the prize for the best bitterballen. Sorry, the best hamburger.
Oh my god, this is so good.
So good.
And since I had the last one, I'm going to dip it twice.
Yeah. Enjoy. Well, this is a part of the street art. We can come together.
That I have noticed is that there's a lot of street art in Rotterdam. So every time you turn a corner, you'll see something new. And it's actually really kind of cool. I wouldn't have thought of Rotterdam as a very artistic city. I thought of more of as a port, but it's actually pretty cool, and it looks like it's becoming a lot more artistic.
For like 4 days or something, and
behind me you can see all these boats, and this was one of the most important areas of Rotterdam because it was the original harbor, and things like cacao, spices, and tobacco was all imported through here. Rotterdam is now the 4th largest port in the world. It's a huge gateway to Europe and gateway from Europe. See the famous cube houses of Rotterdam. I'm not sure what they're supposed to be. I read somewhere that they're supposed to resemble some sort of forest with the yellow gables representing the treetops, but I absolutely don't get it. But people do live in there, and I can't imagine with the way things are a little bit lopsided that there's a whole lot of room. But I've also heard that if you want to, there are also a couple on Airbnb. So if you want to live in a yellow cube house in Rotterdam, there you go. So that's it for my day in Rotterdam. I hope you enjoyed our tour today. I know I did. What a beautiful, beautiful city. Hey, if you like this video, please click the like button. If you want to subscribe, please click the subscribe button and hit that bell for notifications so you'll know whenever we post a new video. The worst part about doing this on a walking tour is that everyone's running away from me, so I've got to run to keep up.